everybody, this is Angel with Halo Inspirations, where we give you inspirations to help you spread beauty and joy through your quilting journey. For the last week or so, I've been working on a blog style tutorial on English paper piecing hexagons. And while I was writing the tutorial, I came across a point when I said make a quilter's knot, and I thought, how many people know what a quilter's knot is? So I decided to make a video. A quilter's knot is a very common, very easy knot to make. So if you've never heard of it, you're going to love it. I use it anytime that I do any kind of hand stitching. So of course, English paper piecing, right? That's one place. It's a hand stitching event. I'm also hand quilting a quilt, which I got to tell you is probably the only quilt I'm ever going to hand quilt. Of course, never say never, but we'll see. Another place I might use it is when I'm doing some binding, where you do your machine quilting on one side, you flip over, and then you do your hand stitching. So again, hand stitching equals quilter's knot. Gotta love this. So whenever you're doing this, of course, you'll need a needle, some thread, and some scissors to cut the thread. Little pro tip, anytime that I'm doing hand stitching, I always use a arm's length of thread to get started. This gives you enough to work with, and it's not too much that it's going to get squirrely. So what that means is you'll take your thread, hold it into the palm of your hand, and start to pull the thread from the spool up to about an arm's length. Then simply take your scissors and cut the thread. Next, you're going to want to thread your needle. Okay, now that we have our needle threaded, you want to make sure that you have a short tail and a long tail. We'll call the long tail the working thread. Now, to make the quilter's knot, we're going to want to hold the needle between our forefinger and our thumb on the right hand towards the eye. You're going to take your working thread and lay it right on top of that needle. With your right hand, you want to take your forefinger and thumb and place it on top of that working thread, holding both that thread and the needle. At this point, we're going to wrap this end. Some people tend to wrap twice. I use 3 times because I have found with the thread that I use that just wrapping twice, the knot isn't large enough and it tends to go through the fabric. So I'm going to wrap 3 times. So taking my left hand, we're going to wrap away 1, 2, 3 times. And at this point, you should be able to see 3 loops on your needle. We're going to continue to hold the thread a little bit taut by placing it in the other fingers of your hand. You're going to take, again, your forefinger and your thumb, and you're going to hold the loops and the needle together. Snug enough that you're not going to drop the needle, but not so tight that you can't slide your needle. Because at this point, you're going to take this free right hand, you're going to push up just a little bit, then you're going to grab it and simply pull the thread through your forefinger and thumb until you feel a knot. And there you have it, the quilter's knot. So let's try it one more time. Just cut the end here. All right. So holding it with your right hand between your forefinger and your thumb closest to the eye. Take your left hand with your working thread, lay it right on top of your needle, taking your right hand, placing it to hold the thread and the needle together. We're going to wrap 3 times away with the left hand. 1, 2, 3. 3 loops on top. Now I have 3. And then we're going to hold with the left hand between the forefinger and thumb, push it up a little bit, grab that needle, pull it through until we feel that that knot in between our forefinger and thumb. And there you have it. Now you want to try and make sure that the end here, the tail after the knot, is only about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch worth. Anything longer, you're going to waste thread. But this is enough that you're not wasting thread, but it's still enough that if it does poke out from your fabric, you can grab a hold and snip it away. And there you have it, the quilter's knot. Now, wasn't that easy? You'll also find it very useful. I'm glad that you stopped by. To get notifications about future videos and tutorials on this channel, be sure to hit like and subscribe. Until then, may you continue to be inspired, productive, and joyful, and never stop making your dreams in quilting come true. Let's go quilt.